might as well just fucking take a look at this. Migrants arrested after a wild 100-mile-per-hour fucking chase. Got a couple of videos to react to. So we're gonna fucking play some video games, talk about this shit. Let's get right into it.
Troopers chase smuggler attempting to flee to Mexico. This sounds wild. Troopers chase smuggler attempting to flee to Mexico. Troopers chase smuggler attempting to flee to Mexico. This sounds wild.
Show me on a 1080 with a red Tahoe Chevrolet.
Okay, so they're in this SUV right here.
It's gonna be a red Tahoe.
And
it just hit a Jeep. Multiple subjects in the rear, getting off, up and down. We're now traveling.
Man, these guys are moving.
Santa Maria, southbound Santa Maria.
He's fucking.
This is during the middle of the day, and apparently this SUV, it's being driven by a smuggler, and inside the car are several illegal immigrants. And as you're about to see, this gets crazy.
Dominic Toretto.
We're going on Man Road,
Hit the
east on Man
turbo
Road.
nos.
This guy's all over the road.
They're just totally tubular.
The other wearing a white polo with a
Look at him swerving
currently on Man Road in Santa Maria, eastbound.
into a parking lot. Uh-oh.
Dude, can you imagine if there was pedestrians there? Oh my god, this could have
Old
turned
Palenque.
to a disaster.
We're about to hit
This guy
the
just
front edge
actually
of
thinks he's playing
I-35.
his feet.
Off of Washington, exit 1, off of Washington.
Man, look at that. Half on the grass, half off.
1050, Laredo, 1050, 1050.
Pieces of the car flying off. Okay, this is key right here. It looks like the smuggler tried to get off the road and reverse his direction and try to flee the opposite way, but that's not what's going on. There's something else happening over here because just on the other side of this little bank, the terrain hides a secret. See him stopping?
Preparing for a splashdown.
Oh wow,
And there's people getting out of the car. Look at that. So, what you're about to see here, there are several people who exited this SUV.
Wait, time out. There's no way you really just fucking, oh my god. There's no way you really just tried to fucking lead the cops on a high-speed pursuit, fucking almost crash into a bunch of civilians, you know, damage a bunch of private and public property, and then you fucking, oh my god, in an effort of you trying to escape them, you jump into a river knowing you can't swim. Oh man, dude, if stupid didn't have a fucking name, it definitely does now. What are you thinking, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, bro? You just bumping Asta, hitting the overpass and all, you just fucking, you know?
Jumped in this river and were able to swim across this river and get back into Mexico. But not everybody's as strong a swimmer as those who got away. And as you're about to see, the people who were fleeing law enforcement now have to be rescued by them.
No puedes nadar, vente para atrás. Dale, ahí va para allá.
I gotta help this guy out.
Got it out, let's go.
And that's also why you don't just fucking, you know, this is also why you don't be committing crimes with just anybody, dude. You gotta make sure, if you're going to, I'm not condoning anybody committing any crimes, but if you fucking, you know, are going to commit a crime, you know, might as well fucking try to do it something that you know will have your back, you know, something that isn't just gonna hog wild and fucking, you know, leave you all Humpty Dumpty when the going gets tough, dude. Like, this guy just fucking dipped out on him, bro. What the
Wow. Look at all the people they caught. That's crazy. And this right over here apparently is Mexico. This guy almost got away. But look at this. Here we have another such chase, which happened 3 days before the one we just looked at.
Dude, what is with all these fucking chases, dude? Is everybody on some fucking... What's up with all this crime rampancy recently, dude? It's like everybody just thinks that they're in GTA. They could do whatever they want. Like, there's, like, no consequences. I mean, for the most part, depending on what fucking state you do it in, there probably isn't going to be any consequences. Like, if you fucking do it in New York, because apparently, you know, the law doesn't matter over here.
The target here is this pickup truck. Look, he's using the same tactics to try and evade police, and this doesn't end well for the smugglers in this either. But what's crazy is they even have smugglers doing this. Look, you got people trying to get home from work.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Okay, so let me just pause it right here. Look at this. You've got a parking lot over here. You've got oncoming traffic right here. And you got this guy who's up on the curb. This is during the day. This is a work day for most people. But when you have an open border for a long time and you allow a criminal element to come into your country and exist here, this is what they do for work. Look at this.
Can you imagine being one of those cops that, like, it's literally your job to stand there and, like, you know,
He thinks he can throw off the
street?
police, but he's in a residential neighborhood.
Run over
This
by
is
some
terrible.
Random F-1 Ford, F-150. Fucking insane, dude.
This is crazy. Look at all the officers everywhere. It's such a waste of public resources having to deal with people like this.
Like, literally for fucking nothing. For fucking nothing.
Oh, here he is. They're trying to... Okay, so right here you've got an officer ahead of this guy. You've got him here, and this is such a waste of resources. All of these officers could be out making their neighborhoods, their communities a better place, but because federal law allowed people like this to get into America and start these massive smuggling businesses.
I mean, me personally, dude, this is why I be saying fucking, you know, not everybody should be a cop, dude. Cause this is like, bro, if I was there, I would have just got mad and just fucking rammed right the fuck into this guy. You know, like that fucking meme. Oh, okay, everybody, me turn now. Fucking just, you know.
They've got to deal with this instead. And when you ever hear arguments about, oh, the police, they've got too much work to do. They shouldn't be helping ICE. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be doing that. Well, look at what all of this federal criminal activity is doing to local jurisdictions. It's doing this. The guy crashes and they eventually catch him. Here he is. Now, that person was also in the vehicle, and it doesn't show where they were sitting, but there's a chance they may not have been wearing a seatbelt. That's just incredibly sad. These smugglers, they're not making the world a better place by bringing people into the country who shouldn't be here, and who, once they get here, have to become part of the criminal element just to survive in this country. This whole thing is awful. This is why you have to close the border to stop people like this from coming in and putting everyone's life in danger just so they can make money. Here we have another pursuit, and this one, the smuggler has stopped their vehicle. Officers are getting out. Let's see what happens.
Sálgase del mueble.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna call them right now. Run.
Get out of the car.
Yeah, get the fuck out of the car.
You have weapons with you?
No, no.
He's got weapons, officer. Officer. Yeah, he's got weapons.
Secure.
Why are you arresting me?
Right.
Why am I being arrested?
Who are all those people?
They're homeboys.
Homeboys?
They're not my homeboys.
All right.
So this guy appears to be someone who's proficient in English. He appears to be somebody who may have a vehicle in their own name. It's not a stolen vehicle. They look like a normal person living in this country, but here they are engaged in human smuggling.
Listen, Mom.
I'm gonna sit you in the car and then we'll talk.
Can I light my cigarette, please?
What do you have? Knife?
I have a knife and shit. And my wallet.
Okay.
Oh.
¿Ustedes apenas acaban de cruzar?
Sí.
Porque tienen...
So they admit it. They just crossed the border, and this guy picked them up, and he was bringing them somewhere. He's part of a human smuggling operation.
Más tienen todo. Están manchados.
There's a woman back here. Look at
¿De
that.
dónde cruzaron?
No sabemos.
¿No saben? ¿No saben? ¿Nomás eran tres?
Sí.
Ok. ¿Nomás eran tres? Ok.
Thank God we got none in jail.
¿No tienen armas? ¿No tienen nada? No. Ok. ¿Se puede salir uno?
Look at how easy it is.
Wow, look at that. So this gentleman right here, a resident of Texas, he was arrested for smuggling people. Now, he had 3 people in the car. This article here might tell us how much he makes. It's called Cartels Turn to Social Media to Lure Americans into Smuggling. And right here, one person said that they would earn $1,000 for bringing somebody across. This guy might have earned $3,000, and if he does this multiple times a month, I mean, he could have a six-figure income. And before we watch the next one of these where officers encounter a very frightening situation, it's important to understand that if this is going on in your society, that's going to put such a massive strain on law enforcement that by not intervening and by not helping federal
This is just like in my opinion, it's like a dead end loop. Because these people think that they're gonna come here and get shit and they're not gonna get nothing, dude. Like, you're just gonna come here, waste everybody's time, realize that you wasted your time, and then, you know, you're wasting more resources just to go back to where you were. When you could have just, you know, improved your situation from the start from where you currently are instead of, you know, trying to commit crimes. Like, it's like, I don't know, man.
authorities get people like this off the streets, every single person who lives there is in a lot of trouble. And at the same time, by allowing these criminals to exist and do their thing, they just get more emboldened and get more powerful because as they're speeding down the road, they pass police cars and nothing happens to them. But that's not what happened here.
That's just a theory.
He's saying turn off the car. Okay, driver comes out with his hands up. Smart.
They just decided to open the door?
Las manos! Las manos! I can't tonight. I can't tonight. Manos arriba. Todos manos arriba.
Okay.
They're
And
laying
there are
down in the back seat.
passengers.
Nobody's secured.
Okay. Well, the reason for your
Sálganse. Hey, uno por uno, sálganse. Siéntese.
Respecto
Siéntese.
mi autoridad.
Siéntese.
When you pull over a vehicle like this, you have no idea as an officer what
The fuck
you're
is
walking
gonna
into.
happen,
There's
yeah.
window
I don't
tint,
know
there's a
what's
whole bunch of
going on,
people in the
who's
car.
in there,
Sometimes the
what they
car's
got in there.
over capacity.
Bro, you know that
and
car could be a
these
fucking
folks,
explosive.
they could be
Oh.
anybody because they entered the country without permission. Nobody knows who they are. They could be criminals. They could be members of a gang. They could be very dangerous. They could have weapons. This is very frightening.
¿Qué traes?
3
Celular?
people in the car this time.
I can't.
So you've got this man right here, and
They just
it looks
all
like
look
two
like
women.
miscreants.
This doesn't look like a good situation at all. Who even knows what awaits people in this situation? We're told that as Americans who might favor a strong border, that we're denying these individuals something, but they're
we're not
headed for
denying
the
them
criminal
that.
underworld, probably in a
fucking
sanctuary city
what?
somewhere. Who knows
If anything,
what
they're
they're
denying us
ultimately going to be
shit,
caught
right?
up in. I don't know if I even want to know the answer to that.
I'm
But
denying
get
you
ready
stuff,
for an
you're
I
denying
told you
you
so
too,
moment.
motherfucker.
Powerful
Now, where's
criminal
my
organizations on earth. So what really most Americans don't understand is that when they see this mass flow of people across the border,
where's all the money that
what they're looking
Mexico
at has been
owes us?
described to me as the largest
all
form
those
of
fucking
modern
resources,
slavery
money
in
that
the
we gotta
world.
waste.
Because, and
All
I've
their
seen this
immigrants.
with my own eyes, so many of the people
that,
coming
huh?
across will have a little card in their
Fork that
pocket
over.
or a number written down, which is a routing number for a bank account for the cartel. If you haven't paid all of your fees by the time you cross, they will collect. And so many people, when you're in a restaurant in New York,
That's
and
crazy.
you know, you and your friends are talking about, oh, isn't it wonderful how these immigrants work, you know, 2 jobs and they're so hardworking. Well, guess what? They're working 2 jobs a lot of the time because so much of their money is going back to those cartels.
That's incredibly frightening. But that's reality. Reality is not that you have people who are coming here and who are yearning for freedom. When they
What?
enter
I
the
can't-
country,
oh
they
my.
know that they are enslaved
That is
to these criminals. They
homosexual.
know that they owe them a massive debt that they could never pay. You've got reports of people paying $10,000, $20,000 to come into America. These individuals don't have that. And here we have a report about how when people come across, this is from several years ago, they've got banking information, they have to send money back to these criminals. That's terrible.
Still exploiting them. And now some of them are wearing wristbands which link to databases and computers, so the cartel is able to track you wherever you are. And of course they can also keep track of your family, you know, on the other side of the border. So there's no escape for these people.
There are reports of individuals in New York City asylum shelters who have to live next to gang members, and those gang members, they'll go to them. Trend Aragua, they do this. They go to the people in the shelter and they say, hey, join our gang, become a thief, go steal from Macy's, go do shoplifting, bring us stolen products. Oh, you don't want to do that? Well, now that we've revealed ourselves to you as criminals, you knowing about our existence and not cooperating with us is bad. Now you're an outsider. Now you are our enemy. That's what they tell people. They tell people they're going to hurt their families back home if they don't join them. And I can only imagine what they tell people who they've transferred across the border and know all about. And this makes it sound like people who defend the idea of an open border are lying about the consequences of that border. You don't have people entering America who then experience the American dream. They're not able to experience the American dream because they're prisoners of a dangerous system that just wants to take from them and will never release them. What do you think about that? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Dude, what is wrong with this gun?
A one-button auto rotation? Wait, what? Breaking news.
Oh, shit.
Is implementing a rotation assistant?
Oh, man.
Single... Wait, what?
Fuck, I kind of... Hold on, I'm gonna go back to this shit.
Oh, Canada. No. Troopers chase smuggler attempting to flee to Mexico at all. Who?
Guess what? They're working two jobs a lot of the time because so much of their money is going back to those cartels.
That's incredibly frightening. But that's reality. Reality is not that you have people.
Yeah, and that's also another thing that's what I was gonna say. That's also something that people don't fucking understand is that when people want to come here, they don't want to fucking have to work two jobs, dude. What the fuck? If you're gonna do that, you might as well just stay exactly where you are, dude. And that's exactly what my point is. Like what? Like it's just like I don't know, man. Like you're actually coming here to pay more, to work more, to get less money. Like, you know, like over here, it's literally more expensive to be poor. So, you know, you won't have any insurance, or you're gonna have to, you know, overdraft fees, all this nonsense. So it's like, I don't know.
People who are coming here and who are yearning for freedom, when they enter the country, they know that they are enslaved to these criminals. They know that they owe them a massive debt that they could never pay. You've got reports of people paying $10,000, $20,000 to come into America. These individuals don't have that. And here we have a report about how when people come across, this is from several years ago, they've got banking information, they have to send money back to these criminals. That's terrible.
Still exploiting them. And now some of them are wearing wristbands which link to databases and computers, so the cartel is able to track you wherever you are. And of course they can also keep track of your family, you know, on the other side of the border. So there's no escape for these people.
There are reports of individuals in New York City asylum shelters who have to live next to gang members, and those gang members, they'll go to them. Tren de Aragua, they do this. They go to the people in the shelter and they say, hey, join our gang, become a thief, go steal from Macy's, go do shoplifting, bring us stolen.
Yeah, and it's like you don't really have a fucking choice, because if you don't do it, they'll just actually fucking kill you. Wait, what? Oh my god, I'm missing fucking...
products. Oh, you don't want to do that?
Like, dude, right now, for you to, like, you know... For you to understand what it's like to be in New York, dude, right now New York is actively, you know, being compared to, like, Gotham and shit. Like, from DC Comics. Like, we're just actively always being represented as, like, fucking Gotham City and shit like that. Like, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Well, now that we've revealed ourselves to you as criminals, you knowing about our existence and not cooperating with us is bad. Now you're an outsider. Now you are our enemy. That's what they tell people. They tell people they're going to hurt their families back home if they don't join them. And I can only imagine what they tell people who they've transferred across the border. And
that's what I'm saying. It's like fucking retarded to say, oh, we're escaping gangs and fuck. You think that a gang would just help you fucking come over here and then they're not going to try to, you know, reap their rewards? You know, they're not going to do, you know, they're not going to fucking come over here as well. Like, you're acting like they're not going to be over here. How the fuck do you think they sent you over here to begin with? Oh, God.
And know all about. And this makes it sound like people who defend the idea of an open border are lying about the consequences of that border. You don't have people entering America who then experience the American dream. They're not able to experience the American dream because they're prisoners of a dangerous system that just wants to take from them and will never release them. What do you think about that? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
A one-button auto rotation? Wait, what? Break.
Whoa. Alright. Alright, chat. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm gonna go see what my mom wants really quick. But yeah, peace, guys.